folks getting.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So we'll just kick off for a minute. My name is Micah Chappelle. I am the IRC TAG Chair. I am a SBCC board member representing code officials. My official job is I work for Seattle's Department of Construction and Inspections, and I am their technical code development manager. What that means is I'm pretty much STOIN for Seattle. So I put together all of Seattle's codes. That's what my team does. And so we adopt 11 separate codes, and then we manage portions of our municipal codes. So it's a pretty big project. Anyway, in addition to that, I also am on the Washington Association of Building Officials Executive Board as their Technical Code Committee Chair. And so we work, of course, we put in a lot of proposals here at the state level, and then we do a lot of national level code work as well. So that's what I do, and I'm going to have everybody go around and introduce themselves and just give a little background. And then once we're done with that, maybe as we do that, John, if you want to kind of take roll as the folks speak up, and that way we don't have to do a special roll call.
Oh, yeah.
But just to see what members are here and who's missing. We do, of course, have some outstanding positions that are open on the IRC tag. So if you do have anybody that you're aware of, I believe it's, oh boy, I didn't pull the list up to be prepared. I believe it's a realtor, appraiser, someone like that. Gosh, there's two other positions, John, and I didn't pull it up.
Right here.
Failure.
It's on, I've got it on the screen share. So it's, let me change the view of that a little bit. So that's who we have. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
There we go.
So if any of you folks that are on know somebody that might fit into this role, framing, masonry contractor, insurance realtor, appraiser, or somebody like that, and then a home designer. I know everybody that should know a home designer, I believe, but if you have anybody that you could recommend that could participate in the tag that may be interested in looking at code changes for the state, for the IRC, it'd be really appreciated if you folks could do a little outreach for us and see if we can fill those positions. So anyway, let's get into our introductions. If we want to start with the SBCC staff that's on the call, and then we can move to the tag members and then other participants.
Sounds good.
Don't be shy.
Go in.
Stoyan Bumbalov, as Micah said, I'm Micah in Olympia. I'm the State Building Code Council Managing Director, and John will be running and hosting these meetings, and I will attend if he needs help for whatever it is. I'll do my best to attend. And I can't compete with Micah, you know. So you see, I don't have anything that he has.
I guess I should turn my video on for a minute so they see what you're actually talking about there. So it's that hair and beard thing he's talking about there. So anyway, all right, go ahead.
Nice. So, so I'm John McIntyre. I'm the code specialist here for the International Building Code and for the International Residential Code. I am brand spanking new. I just passed my 6-month mark, and that's not just with the Building Code Council, that's with the state. So my background is anthropology, technology, and building. I was a contractor for 7 years. I've been in technology and worked in anthropology in the DEI space previously in a past life. So I'm excited to be here. I've gone through a part of a code cycle. I've done work on the building code and have realized how monumentally challenging it is. I expect the IRC is going to be a pretty big load. So the thing is, I'm definitely not bored, and this is it's a pretty exciting role. I've got a great mentor having Stoyan here. I plan on bugging the heck out of Micah as much as possible because these guys have just amazing wealth of information. So please reach out to me if you have any questions, concerns, or if you need communication along the way. I'm really that point of contact. We've got a great helper here as well. We've got Serena Grimes, so I'll let her introduce herself. But she's part of the team as well. So we're here to help and here to serve any way we can.
Hi guys, my name is Serena. I am new to the SBCC team. I am the admin here, and I will be kind of dropping in on meetings and helping support the team and you guys, and hopefully we can keep everything going and moving in the good ways that it is.
Thank you. Thanks to the staff. I couldn't do all this without their help. So really appreciate all of you being here. All right. So let's jump into the members. If I'm not going to call on anybody, if you just want to unmute and introduce yourself as the members. And then if we have anybody after the members that's just here to participate, we'll let them introduce themselves as well. So go ahead, jump in.
I'm Jen Eluk, and I'm a plans examiner with the City of Bellevue, and I helped with proofreading the state amendments for the IRC and the IBC last year. So that was how I got into code development. I did that alongside my supervisor at the time, Lee Kranz, who's been involved in code development for quite some time, and he retired. I don't know if he's going to still be doing some of this work, though, also on the side. And yeah, that's how I got here. I do mostly residential review.
Very cool. Welcome.
Great, welcome.
I see Lee's name on. I saw his name on a lot of stuff from the building code still. So I think it's got to be still involved, right?
Yeah, somewhat.
Yeah. Well, welcome.
So I guess we'll go down the list here. I'm next, Quinn Tai, City of Tacoma, but for this purpose, I'm doing a dual purpose as the backup for Wobble, technical code development, and also for the cities and counties, representing the city of Tacoma. And my role there is lead plans examiner, and I do mostly residential, but also commercial as well. And we did a questionnaire the other day, and I didn't realize that I've been in the industry for over 22 years now. Started in Seattle in 2005, worked Auburn and in Pierce County, and then now Tacoma.
Very cool. Welcome. Wow.
I'll go. My name's Michelle Yee. I'm with Simpson Strong Tie. I do support the manufacturer supplier side of this. I was actually in the last round of the IRC TAG Committee, so I'm excited to be back again. I got a little bit more under my belts now, so hopefully can, be a good representative on this side of it and kind of help out with the TAG Committee. So for anybody who doesn't know, Simpson Strong Tie is a producer of a lot of bent metal fasteners and anchors. And we work a lot in educating the community, not only on our products, but applications. So if you wanted to know any more about me, I think over the time, we'll be able to get to know each other a lot better. So anyway, thank you again for having me.
Thanks, welcome.
Well, I'm Annie O'Rourke. I'm with the Peninsula Housing Authority out in Port Angeles. And it's a multi-county housing authority. I'm their development director, have been here for about 7.5 years. And I'm representing the affordable housing interests in this group. I have been involved in this group for actually quite a long time. Back in 2003, I think is when I started on the IRC tag. And then I left in 2015, 2016. So really the only code I haven't worked on is the 2018 that we're working on right now. But prior to my coming to the Housing Authority, I owned a building design firm for about 10 years. And prior to that, I'd worked for Clallam County here locally and a number of years at the City of Portland doing code development, as well as plan review and instruction. So
Nice, welcome, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Yep, thank you.
I'm Darren Graham with BHC Consultants. We provide backup for inspection support for local jurisdictions. We actually, I believe, we even have a contract with Bellevue for plan review and that type of thing. So we contract with several different entities throughout the state. We do federal and tribal projects as well. I've been involved with the code industry in and out since 1990, and have sat at the national level through code hearings and all that, and code development cycles, and as well served on the board of directors for Wobble back in the early 2000s. Anyways, we do inspection support and plan review and building official services when needed for our local jurisdictions.
Awesome, thank you.
Good morning. My name's
Thanks,
Todd.
Darren.
My name's Todd Short. I work for the City of Redmond Fire Department. I've been with Redmond for 28 years. I've been in, I represent the fire service on the IRC TAG. I think this is my third or fourth go around. First started in 2009. But look forward to this probably be my last since I'll be retiring. But anyway, it's nice to meet everybody.
Yes, welcome. Thank you.
And congratulations on the upcoming retirement, Todd. I'm a little jealous.
I'm in the descent, so.
Nice.
I think that's it. That's all that I can see on the list. I think we've got everyone
Yep.
covered.
Thinking the same thing. Okay, so again, this is just going to be some informational stuff today and talk through a few things. I guess one question would be on code books. Since we are working on the 2021, I would assume and that folks may or may not have, and hopefully everybody can verify, if they have a 2021 IRC, and then I believe we need to get everyone the significant changes book from ICC, because will have assignments where we go through and review the changes that have occurred from ICC. We need to review how they align with our current Washington state amendments. And then we need to, we'll go through and determine whether or not we want to maintain those amendments based on the current code language. So if you do not have one of those two books, we will need to get those for you. Is that correct, Stoyan? We provide all that, right?
We can provide chapters of the significant changes. So if you, because of the copyrights currently and the end of the year, well, we're working on the budget, but we can provide chapters of the significant changes if this will be enough for the folks that are working on these specific chapters. And for the International Residential Code, we need to figure out how we will proceed with the International Residential Code. We will really appreciate the folks, you know, if you have your books, just use your books. Again, it's the end of the year. We're kind of working on the budget right now, but we will do our best to provide what is needed.
Okay. One thing I should mention here then, if we are not going to get books right out of the gate, ICC does have their code available for view for free on the website. We will put together, maybe I can have John do that, put together an email with that link that will identify where those free codes are located digitally. And then we can work from there. But I do need the information from each one of you. If you've got a 2021 IRC, if you do not, then we need to address that since we'll be looking through the 2021. even though I'm sure everybody's had no time to work in the 2018. So, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you want us to
At least we're not
email
working on the
you?
2020. Yes, that'd be great. Good,
Okay.
good question. Just email me or even John or both. And that way we can formulate a list of who needs books and what resources you actually need. So, or chapters. I know I could probably provide chapters. I gotta get with Stoyan and help him work the system.
I would appreciate that.
I'll do that just because I know that in the past, at least for me, I'm able to contract with ICC to get free copies of the code just for code development purposes only. And we have to sign a contract for that, but I'm able to do that and distribute those to my internal code development folks at Seattle. So I would imagine we should be able to do that here with SBCC. And so I will do a little outreach and CC you on that to see if we can get those for folks. I think most of the time it's only going to be a digital version, but again, at least it's a PDF version that you can manipulate, save, do things on it on your own individually, instead of if you access the free site for ICC, you can't copy and paste, you can't do all that stuff. It's very limited free access. So I will see if we can work the system to get us books, but at least get us digital books. So, okay.
Nice.
So John, I was wondering if you had the schedule, excuse me, for this cycle that we could pull up and provide folks, and maybe we could email that out later as well.
Yeah. Let's see, the code cycle. Let's see. Stoyan, where's the newest one at? You said that had changed from last time. I want to make sure I pull the right one up.
Which schedule? The one that was on the website?
Yeah, the code adoption schedule.
I can, well.
I mean, I've got this one, but I think it's.
That's the right one. Well, we need to change it, and we will have updates for the council members to vote on. The next council meeting will be on November 19th, I think. So it will change a little bit, probably 2 weeks. We'll push 2 weeks. We're kind of late for many reasons, but the cells will be the same. Just the time on the left will change a little bit, but the cells you see in the right column will be the same.
Okay.
Excellent. So as you folks can see, or if you can't see the screen, I'll just kind of lay it out here. Between now and March, we need to complete our work to determine the current changes to in the 2021 code compared to our Washington State amendments, our current Washington State amendments. And then sometime in March, we should be reviewing or start reviewing the proposed new state amendments that come in and making recommendations on those to the council. And you can kind of see all the timeline there. So really by June of next year, we need to complete, I would say 95% of our work. And so we're gonna have a lot of meetings. That's what it comes down to. Hopefully the stuff won't take too long once we start getting into it. I know there's some chapters that we don't use in the IRC, so it's not like we have to go through every single item and every single appendix. It's just those areas that we currently adopt and amend. So, and we'll get that stuff lined out in a spreadsheet and hopefully provide you spreadsheets on the individual chapters, so that will help you kind of do your review. So just wanted to share that schedule. And since we're talking about schedules, let's just kind of talk about time schedules for folks. We need to determine what day of the week is best for most folks to meet. Usually the meetings are a 4-hour meeting. So I know it takes a lot of time out of your day. I do want to try to keep it to only, like an every 2-week timeline. Of course, we've got holidays over the next 6 weeks. And so that makes it a little tougher during that time frame. But I'm sure most of you are like me, where Tuesdays through Thursdays are usually packed full with something else. But I want to leave that open to the group to discuss. So let's start with the day of the week that may be best for folks, and just provide a little input there, and we'll write some things down. So again, one of the things I want to reiterate in my meetings is don't be shy. I'm not shy. Interrupt me, cut me off, share your opinions, share your thoughts, and just don't be shy. So what days of the week would folks feel these meetings would work best for them? So
Mondays or Fridays?
For me, it would be any day but Friday. Friday is my only day without meetings, and it's my only day I can actually hammer through plans. So I'd like to keep it that way. And I would also prefer to do it closer to the afternoon if possible versus morning, just because I have a lot of other morning meetings, and it's also when my brain is the most awake. So I'd rather do this kind of at the end of my day.
I don't mind that thought as well. Sorry, late afternoon. Later in the afternoons is fine with me. And I'm pretty open. I would prefer not to do a Friday if possible. Friday afternoons. Who wants to do a Friday afternoon?
Okay.
Mondays or Fridays, good with me. I can be flexible. But with the majority so far speaking about Fridays, I can figure out something else to do on Friday as well.
Just to clarify something for the Fridays, on Fridays, as you know, we have the council meetings, and on Fridays we have the energy code technical advisory group meetings. So when
I
you're
know so many on this. I know so many on this group that want to sit through the energy code tag, don't you? That's so exciting.
I didn't invite you, I just said it.
Good choice. Okay, so anybody else? Did Annie or Todd?
Yeah,
Maybe that was
Monday
Annie,
sound.
did Michelle or Todd?
Yeah, this is
Go ahead.
Todd. I would say Mondays are fine with me. I would prefer not to go too late though in the afternoon. I'm off at 4, so wrap up by 4 would be fine on a Monday.
Hey, Mike, a quick question for you, because I know Monday afternoon is our TCD meetings. Is that gonna?
Yep.
So I don't know how that's gonna play out.
I'm gonna have to look through some of that and see what we've got scheduled. Yeah, and Quinn brings up a good point. I may have to adjust a few things for me, just because we do have our WABO technical code development meetings on Mondays, and those are scheduled fairly heavy as well. It may work that we do these meetings on the opposite Mondays, if we can, and then I may have to adjust one or two of those WABO TCD meetings. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm just in too many meetings and chair too many things.
Otherwise, Mondays work
Thanks,
for me.
Quinn.
Then. Yeah, Mondays will work for me.
Okay.
Fridays, definitely not. Like today, it's actually my day off. So I'm just here because you asked me to be here.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. We'll try to make it short today. I don't anticipate going the full-time schedule. So I appreciate the time from everybody. Okay, so it sounds like Mondays in the afternoons will be the best day. And then if we had to, maybe a Friday here and there, even if we don't have a member or two that may end up being missing. Like I said, I may not be able to do every Monday afternoon just because of other already scheduled priorities. So we'll work from there. And then of course, if I have to, we can still schedule this meeting, and I may just have to have John or Stoyan or somebody else be the chair for that day, and we can discuss that later. Okay, so I also put on my discussion items just the tag goals. And I know that John or even Stoyan can kind of say additional items to that. I'm new to chairing a tag, so I've participated in them before, and of course been on the SBCC going on 3 years now. but I just haven't had enough time to actually chair a tag. And so I wasn't going to be the first volunteer for this group this time. Sometimes I got to say no, but there were no other volunteers. And since I'm already heavily involved enough, I figured I'd do it. So anyway, my opinion, our goals are going to be, again, kind of walking through the schedule, and what we need to do is our first goal is going to do the complete review of our current amendments and the new amendments to the, a review of the new amendments to the ICC 2021 code and compare them against our existing amendments for the 2018 IRC. And then that will lead us into determining what we're going to keep for our current amendments, or what we're going to modify, or what we're going to go with the base code language of the ICC. So, and then from there, of course, it will lead into review of any proposed amendments, further amendments to the 2021, and then to make our recommendations to the SBCC for all proposals. So we will hopefully have a lot of public input, at least starting in March, when we are reviewing the any proposed amendments, because those folks are going to come on and sell it to us. So that's when we have a chance to really say, yeah, we don't like what you're selling, or we can modify it, or whatever. So that's kind of my thoughts of the goals. It kind of goes along with the schedule. If there's any other thoughts from either John or Stoyan or any of you on goals of what you would like to see out of this tag, please feel free to chime in.
Yeah, I'll chime in. Just from what I saw in the IBC tag, I would like to, well, I was going to show some stuff. I think what I'd like to do is, my goal would be to just, there's Robert's rules, and then there's procedures that we have to follow. I want to make sure, and it's kind of my police job to try to stay on top of those. So I'd like to try to stay in alignment with those as much as possible. But more importantly, I want to make this as smooth as we can. So what I've seen in the IBC group, IFC, and even on the energy code tag, is communication is really important. So if there's any questions, and it moves a lot smoother when there's that open dialogue. So please, it would be a goal of mine to make sure that we keep that open, and we're able to provide whatever assistance we can. Another goal of mine for y'all is this, you guys can still see my screen. Looks like I'm still sharing. This is the building code tag. So I revamped this a little bit, because I would like all of the information as much as possible to be on the website, so that y'all have access to it whenever you need it. And you don't have to bug me unless it's something specific. And I'm saying bug me for your time, the amount of time. That's why I'm here, but I don't want you to have to chase things down. So that's where it'll live. And I'm going to send links, just like Stoyan had mentioned, for the ICC, but I'll also share website links and some other important links, so that y'all have access to those as well. So from our webpage, it's just under the different tags. And if you go to the residential code tag, you can see it has not been updated since 2019. So I'll be adjusting that, editing, and adding documentation to that. And then I'll share that with the group as well. So those are my goals, just making sure that communication stays open, that we stay in line with what the rules and guidelines are, and that we're here to help as much as possible. So please use us.
John, can you click on the IBC, one of the reports, the existing, or, well, I will need both, but let's start with the existing. Yes. So this is how the report looks like, you can use the report and update the information, or during the discussions, John or I or Serena will make notes to update the report. So this report will be on the website and will be updated after each meeting. But I just wanted to show you the format. And the significant changes report looks a little differently, but it has the same goal. And what we learned from the building code, when we assign different chapters to TAG members, we prefer to have the same TAG member working on the significant changes and the existing amendment. Otherwise, we sometimes we lose information or we don't evaluate enough. So those issues will be also discussed during these meetings. But again, this is very important. If we have one person taking care of the existing amendments and the significant changes. And the other thing I wanted to clarify was that Micah mentioned March next year, but we really need to complete these reports. You see it on the schedule, end of November. I don't think it's achievable, but if we can push a little bit and get it done by the end of December, will be great.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. Hopefully we'll be able to achieve that.
Sorry, I forgot to mention that, but again, using the experience from the building code, if we have assignments and a TAG member cannot finish the work, please let us know and we will do our best to help, because we better get more busy instead, postponing chapters. And what we ended up with the building code, we had 2/3 of the chapters for the last meeting, so that's not a good idea either. So if you need help from the council staff, let us know in advance and we'll do our best to help.
So Stoyan, these were the spreadsheets that I mentioned, what you're calling a report. Is your staff doing that, and when will those be available for us?
We will do the existing amendments spreadsheet. The other one is a Word document that goes. John, can you show the significant changes?
Oh, on the website, like the example.
website, yeah.
And will you have a template for that if we need
So
to
yes, we do have a template. The significant changes is just a template, and you see on the left, in the left column, we have 2021 code section, and next to it we have a 2018 code section. So these will be templates, empty templates, and the TAG members that are working on particular chapters, they can update their sections, or the other option is they can use whatever format they want, and we will update the report. That will be, well, that's a working document, not really a final report, but we will update the document that is on the website.
Yep.
So you can use any format you want. We'll incorporate the information into this Word document.
Okay. I'll ask you something specifically for me. Do you have a copy of the old worksheet template? Because I know a lot of the reviewer comments in here, some of that stuff doesn't change on the section. But if you had a copy of that, could you send me that and I'll look through it? If you don't, that's fine, but yeah, I appreciate it.
We'll look up.
Yeah, we can take
You mean the copies of the worksheets that you guys did the work in 2018?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll look at that. We'll look it up.
Okay. And then, as John mentioned, these are open public meetings, so we will be following Robert's Rules of Order. And I want to say, I don't know if that's the 11th edition or whatnot, but one of the nice things is I actually have a 2-page cheat sheet that I will email to John and let him send that out. That way, it's kind of a simplified version of what this stuff is. If you haven't participated in a lot of public meetings, it kind of gives you a little idea of some of the motions you can make, some of the things that go on in actual public meetings. So it's helpful to me, and I've done a lot of public meetings, so hopefully it'll be helpful to everybody else.
Nice.
So I appreciate that point, John. Yeah, thanks.
Sure.
Okay. Thanks for that input on the goals and timeline, Stoyan. I know we're a little behind, which happens, but I think we can get through these chapters relatively quickly. especially if we're able to get those reports or worksheet templates out in the next week as possible. With that, I guess we should point out or question as well, if you do not have a 2018 version of the IRC, let us know that as well. I always forget we need to compare the two. So let us know that. And then when you are looking at the Washington State amendments, my recommendation, and hopefully Stoyan will say the same, is to use the WAC language itself. There are some items that are missing or errata is not completed in the insert pages or even through ICC as of yet. So that's my recommendation, is actually use the specific WAC language and not those other pages. You can use those other pages. I just caution you to at least go verify what's in those insert pages with the WAC. Same thing if you're on the free access through ICC for the Washington Custom Codes, review the WAC against the amendments just to verify. There are several that are incorrect or not accurate in some way. So, excellent. I think at this time we'll probably not put out any assignments, but I will ask that folks start looking through the IRC. If there are chapters that you are more familiar with, maybe that's a chapter you want to say, hey, I will volunteer to review that chapter. It might be a little easier on you time-wise, because I won't necessarily dole out assignments and if people will volunteer, but if people don't volunteer, I will need help because I won't be able to do the entire book as the chair. So I will participate myself. Thankfully, I have a budget where I have staff that I can also help, so I might take on more chapters than others because I can get some of my staff to participate in that, as I did last time. So, but I can't do it all. So yes, and that's a great point, Quinn. Some chapters may need several people. I assume he's indicating like chapter 3, which is a very long, meaty part of the IRC. And so great point, Quinn, in the chat, and we will look at that as well. So if we do have some overlap, that would be fine as well in some of the chapters. So excellent. Okay. John, did you have anything else you wanted to add, or Stoyan? Thank you, Annie, as well as chapter 6. We might need to double up. Yes, you are correct in that. So
no, I've got some homework.
Yep.
No, I've just got some to-dos and follow-ups for everybody to send those links, information on the website, and then those templates that we've got. I'll send those out as well. But no, I don't really have anything. Stoyan?
No, I don't. I will. Well, we will look up for the documents Micah requested, and if we are lucky to find them, we will distribute the documents to everybody.
Awesome, thanks. All right. I'm looking at the calendar right now. Unfortunately, I've already got a meeting scheduled for Monday the 13th, but I am open on Monday the 20th, but of course that's the week of Thanksgiving. And so before I schedule a meeting on that Monday, are folks going to be available that Monday? Is that okay? Or, if we've got 1 or 2 people that are out, I would still probably schedule that meeting. We're just going to have to operate through some of this when folks aren't there. But does that day work for folks for our next meeting?
Works for me.
Works for me.
That'll work.
Works
Okay.
for me.
Yep, it's
Awesome.
open.
I appreciate it.
Nice.
Fantastic. All right, then that's what we'll do is I'll send out a meeting invite, or I'll get staff to do that. And I will end that meeting at 4 p.m. as requested by Todd and those other folks that end their day about that time. And at this point, I don't have anything else to add. Stoyan or John, do you want to add anything, or any members of the TAG have questions? I know we ran through stuff pretty quick and we don't have to jump off, but I didn't want to have today as a very long meeting, but I'm open to questions and input. So again, don't be shy.
I don't have anything to add, but if there are questions, I can try to answer.
All right, I'm hearing crickets, and crickets are okay.
Oh, real
Except when it
quick,
comes time to actually. Oh, go ahead.
sorry, this is Michelle. Did we say every 2 weeks we're gonna meet?
I am going to try to do every 2 weeks. I know over the next 6 weeks, through the holiday season, that it might be tough to do that. But that is my goal, is to try to meet every 2 weeks.
Okay, perfect. Just wanted clarification. Thank you.
Nope, great question. All right. Well, again, I appreciate everybody's time immensely. I know this is a lot of work. The nice thing about the IRC, this is where folks throughout the state can actually change the IRC, since there are significant limitations on what you can change as a jurisdiction to the IRC based off of state law. So one of the things I do want to throw out there is, if you have your own code change proposals, feel free to submit those and share them. You'll see my name on a lot of them through WABO, probably through Seattle as well. So, don't be shy to put in your own code changes. This isn't just about reviewing what the state has or what other folks propose. I am a big proponent of making changes of your own. So I look forward to seeing some of those if you've got them, and I look forward to working with all of you, and I appreciate all the time today. And we'll get lots of information out to you, and also get some schedule worked out here for everyone on Mondays, and I appreciate the input. So if there's no other questions or thoughts, then I will call this meeting adjourned.
Micah, I just have one quick question. This is Darren.
Sure.
Just when do you anticipate the information coming out that we're going to need?
You mean the reports of the existing amendments? And
Yeah, correct.
I'm hoping we have those by the next meeting. That way we can at least go through what chapters that we need to review and start making some assignments at the next meeting. Does that work for John? He's shaking his head, yes.
Oh, yeah, we can easily have it by then. I mean, I'll have it easily, probably early next week, my guess.
Yeah, perfect.
Great. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Great question. Thank you. All right, now we see Michelle. Your camera now works.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And by the way, we missed you, Michelle, at the WABO business meeting last week.
I know, I missed it too. I'm sad that we weren't able to attend because we had another function, but at least we were able to help put that happy hour together, which reminds me I need to hook up with Marty again, but next time.
Nice. Excellent. All right, folks. Again, I won't keep anybody else any longer. I appreciate the time and energy, and I appreciate the SBCC staff for helping me out on getting this meeting set up. We will we'll call it adjourned, and we will talk to you in 2 weeks or sooner.
All right.
Great,
Thanks,
thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you all.